BLOCKCHANCE 2021.
It's going to start with a couple of questions and answers. First of all, I want to know who here owns crypto? Who here owns any crypto? All right, then I want to see who here has built something in the crypto space already, or is building something in the crypto space. That's very interesting. And the third question is like a slightly funnier question, and this is what the exercise is kind of based off of, is what's the craziest shitcoin you know right now, or maybe you like, or you don't like it, you just find it interesting or crazy. And if we do have a suggestion from the audience, I'm going to write down the current price of that said shitcoin, and then 15 minutes later, when the talk is finished, we're going to look back at it again and see kind of what happened to it. But this only happens if like anyone has suggestions. If not, we just move on, nothing, there's no problem. You'll feel ashamed until the rest of the day that you didn't come up with an idea, and that's fine. Yeah, CoinMarketCap now, you tell me the price, and then we go on. Yeah, sure. Sure. I'll wait. King, Floki, what's the price right now in dollars?
Oh my God, I cannot see it. Not two zeros? Like okay, 0.5, I think, 6028.
2.8. Okay, cool. Then we'll leave this aside for now. So, now the reason why I say I'm a crypto dinosaur is because I've been operating in the crypto space. We've been building solutions since 2015, which is basically the Jurassic period of this entire market. I would like to tell you guys about the experiences we've had in this space, the mistakes we've seen made by other companies, made by our clients, because as you heard before, we're development agencies, the mistakes that I made in my entrepreneurial journey, and the things that I've learned to be valuable in such a crazy space. So, my name is Stefan. I'm the founder of a small development agency that focused on blockchain technology since 2015. Recently sold it to Zitec, where we currently all work. I also founded Auras.io, which, as the moderator said earlier, is a 100% gold-backed cryptocurrency. What we do specifically at Auras is we provide a tokenization service for precious metals, for the precious metals industry. I'll talk to you a little bit about that later. And I advise a lot of other crypto projects as well, obviously, into this crazy market. So a little bit about Zitec, what we do. We've got 5 years of working in the blockchain space, around 23 projects successfully launched, 2.3 million blockchain product users, which is quite crazy, since this is where by far the biggest scarcity exists in terms of actual users of these products. And a total of $550 million assets under management throughout the solutions that we've built throughout all this time with absolutely zero hacks. We've never been hacked. This is something that we're quite proud of since it is a common occurrence. Right, this is the beloved list of technologies with which we work. If it's a subject of interest for any of you, you're going to see a link to get the slides later, so we don't spend too much time on this. And if you're looking for a job, email me. We've got 260 developers right now, so feel free to contact us based on that. I'll talk to you a little bit about Auras so you kind of get an idea of what it is. It's one of the biggest products we've built at Zitec. The purpose with Auras was to make gold as easy as money, to make transacting physical gold as easy as transacting money in the modern age. Auras is a tokenization as a service sort of protocol. One of the very interesting things we did at Auras, although we founded the company in I think 2017 and 2018 where absolutely everyone was doing ICOs, we didn't do an ICO. Everyone called me crazy for that. I just had like kind of a slight inclination. I loved the idea of not going to jail. Now, this was a personal thing of mine, so I decided to not do an ICO. And on top of this, we went down a really hard route for a company that does a tokenization as a service. What we did is, what most of our competitors were doing back then, and I think there was a point in 2018, 2019, in which there were around 40 or 50 companies doing gold-backed cryptocurrencies, so fucked up. What most of them were doing is they were buying gold, tokenizing it however they would like, because it was their gold, and then selling it as a gold token sort of thing. The key business problem with that is a very fundamental one, and I think it's one that provides a life lesson for a lot of entrepreneurs stepping into the crypto space. They went down the easier route, but they didn't imagine what the let's say, what the industry of tokenized gold or tokenized commodities would look like. Because if, let's say, every player, every gold broker in the world would make their own cryptocurrency, their own gold-backed cryptocurrency, you'd have somewhere around 10,000, 20,000 differently branded, different cryptocurrencies, all backed by the exact same fungible precious metal. This is highly inefficient. So what we decided to do, also it's an inefficient business model because what they were doing is they were going to go and compete with existing gold traders. And gold traders understand that trading gold is a very low margin game because it's a very deep market. If you make 1% profit margins, you're a god on trading bullion gold. And so what they do is they already have clients to which they sell tens of millions, hundreds of millions a day in gold. And you're going to go ahead as a small tech company and try to compete with that over those clients. It's impossible. So what we did is we took the harder approach and we opened up and allowed any gold trader to come on board to our platform, tokenize their own gold. They would own the gold token. They would sell it further to their market. This, I think, is one of the main reasons why Oris is one of 3 remaining crypto gold companies, so to speak, on the market. Definitely one of the biggest, top 2, actually, and growing quite well. And it's specifically that lesson that I think is very interesting. I'll skip through some of the slides regarding what products we make at Oris. It's not really relevant. If you want, we can talk about that later. The fundamental reason why we made something like Oris is because, also back then, but this kind of still applies even now, stablecoins weren't really a thing. And the market was very, very volatile. And yet you had countries in which, basically it's going to sound shitty as hell, but remember when Venezuela's inflation was only 96%? Boy, those were good times for those guys. So this is actually kind of really crazy, like looking at these sorts of markets. Most of you have probably already been to crypto events, blockchain events. I'm super curious if there's anyone in this room for whom this is the first blockchain-themed event. We got 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, quite a good amount of people. All right, then I'll use this as a means of recapping. And again, the slides that I'm going to be presenting are you're going to be able to find them afterwards. Mostly what people who build blockchain tools or blockchain solutions, mostly what they do is they categorize building blockchain solutions by use cases, right? And the reason why that's very easy to do is because fundamentally speaking, there's a very limited amount of solutions that require blockchain. Blockchain solves a very small amount of fundamental problems in the world, but those problems can be applied across different industries, and this is why we're seeing such a big market. Those problems are mostly related to eliminating third parties, so getting rid of middlemen, and transparency. These are the 2 fundamental layers. Now, how you will see this split up across use cases is going to be something like this. You're going to see a use case on tokenization, which does help eliminate middlemen as an industry. So Oris is a tokenization company, for instance, the one I spoke about earlier. Each industry has advantages and disadvantages, and some projects there. I won't go too much into detail over these. I'd be more than happy to speak about them afterwards if any of them are of particular interest to you. So we've got tokenization, which is creating digital versions of physical assets or other types of assets. We've got identity-based solutions, which are very interesting, and there's a lot of startups that go into identity-based solutions, but what they do not understand is that this should mainly be a government-backed thing. These identity solutions tend towards being critical infrastructure solutions, and that's very important for those to be handled by governments. DeFi, decentralized finance, supply chain type solutions. This is where we see the transparency thing kicking in. Data management, eliminating middlemen. But I want to look at the blockchain market in a very different way. I've put into the big 3 because everyone knows the big 4, but I've called it the big 3 ways of building a blockchain product. And what I've learned throughout my experience of working for a couple of these niches and a couple of these products is that there are a few fundamental different approaches that would be best practices in stepping into this market. And these are the big 3. We've got startups, corporations and NGOs, and deep tech. I believe in what I kind of want to talk to you about today is that there are a few fundamentally different approaches to tackling this market, depending on which of these 3 categories you're in. Now, of course, there might be exceptions. There might be people who kind of swim in both, let's say, pools or either of the 3 pools. I think that the principles would still apply. But for most of the market, most companies fit into one of these three big pools. So let's look at startups. In startups, we have entropy at its finest. Especially in the crypto market right now, we're seeing it evolve in a crazy manner. Now, we've got 4 minutes left and only 3 slides, because these are the last things I want to talk to you about. And if there's anything that you would like me to ask me, if you are in one of these 3 pools and you've got any questions regarding this, you can feel free to just interrupt me during the talk or speak to me afterwards. We've built a couple of interesting products that would go into the startups category, or as the company I spoke to you about earlier. Earn is a tokenized commercial real estate project. Lanceria is a peer-to-peer freelancing tool, a freelancing platform. Cos was a really, really big exchange. It was recently purchased by a big financial company. Persona was an identity solution, and so on and so forth. So here are the key things that I've learned about the startup category. A big mistake that people make is they do not build lean solutions. I found that the best solutions we've built by far build lean and then leaner. And if this means starting with centralized versions of the use cases you want to do because building the decentralized versions are too complicated, do it. People will understand the principles, and you will be able to do the second most important thing, which is focus on value created, which means trying to show how much further value you bring into a particular market once you enter it. Build for the community. This is something that Web3 is a super interesting community. There's a lot of people that are very active in this space and that love using multiple solutions at the same time. And what you will find is that if you need something for your particular project, you're gonna probably already find it already built. If you need a stablecoin, many companies need a stablecoin. Lots of them exist, you can just use them. If you need a decentralized exchange, many companies come to us and say, we want to build our project, but then we're gonna need to build an exchange so people can trade it. No. Integrate with the market. Everyone's super friendly, as you probably saw around here walking through the main stage, and try to use what already exists. Never underestimate marketing. One thing that lots of people get as a mistake when they step into the crypto space is thinking that crypto marketing costs as much as regular marketing. Fuck no, that's crazy. Never in the history of humanity has there been a $60,000 press release, which was a day-to-day occurrence in the crypto space, and still is. Right? $60,000 for one press release. An article in Forbes Romania costs you like 200, 300 bucks, just so you get an idea. Don't underestimate small numbers. If the product that you're building, or the lean version of it, only shows small results, be proud of them. Show them, because blockchain as a technology is a technology of scale. And people and investors and communities will see how those numbers can explode depending on how your user base grows. And use local markets. If bigger versions of your product already exist, but you want to tackle a local market, do it. It normally works. Don't scam people because jail equals bad. Remember this. It's really bad. All right, we'll go into the corporates and NGOs. I don't have much time left. I'm going to extend like a minute and a half. Corporates and NGOs are the kind of people that say that they're too big to fail, which is kind of like saying it's too fat to die. We built a couple of interesting solutions here, the most interesting of which was for Transavia, where we did exactly what the do list says. We made a POC of how people travel around an airport, the different flows of going through an airport, and we tokenized the ticket and showed how we can heavily reduce the time spent in an airport by building a blockchain solution. You can read the slides later. For deep tech companies, and here I've only got like a couple of seconds left, but it's really not important because the chance of being a deep tech company are very, very small. What's very important to do is to focus on the deep tech. There's a real hardcore beauty of deep technical communities on the blockchain. Vitalik, although he's a quadrillionaire, basically posts once every couple of days deep technical analysis, and people interact with him and he interacts with them. Use this hype that's been built around deep technical products. Don't waste your time on crypto bullshit. No big technical infrastructure in the blockchain space, from Bitcoin to Ethereum to the guys at Polygon, which are here, they never care about the price of their crypto coin. They never talk about it. They don't give a shit. I think this is the best approach that you can do, as long as you focus on understanding what a real market needs and providing value for that. So, thank you very much. I'm going to put this QR on the screen, which is a link to download the slides. The link to my LinkedIn, and the first post is the post to download the slides. And I'm just going to need a quick update on the CoinMarketCap thing from the guy who left, and the whole exercise is ruined.
I think you already left.
Yeah, that's what I said. He already sold everything. All right, cool.
Okay.
BLOCKCHANCE 2021.